I had been counting down the hours all day. By the time 6 rolled around, I was already at our favorite coffee shop, fidgeting with my phone, texting Lena for the 3rd time. "I'm here," I typed, my fingers tapping faster than my heartbeat. No reply. Not even a read. When Lena finally appeared, her smile was there, but something felt off. "Hey," I said, standing to pull her chair out. "Hey," she muttered, eyes flicking to the menu as if the words on it mattered more than me. "You okay? You seem different today." She shrugged, stirring her latte absent-mindedly. "I'm fine. Just tired, I guess." "Just tired?" I repeated, forcing a smile. "You've been canceling our plans all week. First movie night, then dinner with Mark and Sarah, now this." Lena looked away, biting her lip. "I needed some space." "Space?" My voice rose, but I tried to keep it calm. "You mean from me?" "I don't know," she admitted, voice low. I feel like I need to find myself." I froze. Find herself? After 3 years, she wants to find herself. Find yourself? I repeated, swallowing hard. "So, this is about us?" She didn't answer. Instead, she stared into her cup like the answer might appear there. "I don't understand," I said. "I thought we were good. I thought we were, us." "We are us," she whispered, finally meeting my eyes. "But I can't. I can't be the me I want to be right now. I need time." I wanted to laugh, to cry, to shake her until she told me she was joking. But all I could do was nod. "Time," I repeated, bitterly. "You want time while I sit here waiting?" She reached for my hand. "It's not about waiting. It's about me figuring out who I am, without leaning on you." I felt my chest tighten. "And where does that leave me?" "I don't know," she admitted again. Her voice was soft, almost fragile. "I just need this." I let out a shaky laugh, more to mask my hurt than anything else. "You mean I'm disposable while you find yourself?" "No," she said quickly. "You're serious," I said, cutting her off. I tried to keep my voice steady, but it cracked. "You've been serious this whole time." Her silence confirmed it. Later, at Mark and Sarah's small gathering, I tried to force myself into normalcy. "Hey, man, you look like you've seen a ghost," Mark said, nudging me. "I'm fine," I muttered, taking a sip of my drink. Sarah frowned. "You don't look fine. What's going on with Lena?" She said she needs to find herself." "Can you believe that?" Mark snorted. "Classic. You wait around like a puppy, and she suddenly decides she's some philosopher on a soul-searching journey." I laughed bitterly. "Yeah, except it hurts, you know. After 3 years." Sarah placed a hand on my shoulder. "I get it. But maybe she's just figuring herself out. Not everyone thinks linearly about love." I nodded, though I didn't believe her. Inside, a storm was brewing. Lena was smiling somewhere, probably free from our problems, while I sat here wondering if I had done something wrong, or if I'd been too much in love. "Hey," I said quietly, mostly to myself, "I'll wait. If she comes back." Mark raised an eyebrow. "Man, be careful. Waiting doesn't always mean she'll return." I didn't hear him. My mind was on Lena, imagining her laugh, the way she leaned on my shoulder, the warmth that felt suddenly distant. I couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Later that night, I stared at my phone. A single message appeared: "I need time to find myself." And just like that, the world I had known for 3 years tilted. I couldn't get her words out of my head: "I need space." 3 simple words that felt like a punch straight to my chest. "She's crazy," Mark said when I recounted our conversation over beers. Space. After 3 years? I know, I muttered, staring at my empty glass. But maybe she really needs it, maybe it's not about us. Sarah shook her head. Come on, man. You're deluding yourself. She's pulling away. That's obvious. Don't ignore the signs. I'm not ignoring them, I snapped, though my voice felt hollow. I don't want to believe it. I love her, okay? Mark leaned back, sighing. Love doesn't mean blind loyalty while she's drifting. You need to see reality. I didn't argue. Deep down, I knew he was right, but my heart refused to accept it. I told myself I'd talk to her, figure it out. Face to face, no excuses. I found her at the small park near our apartments, sitting on the swing as if she'd been waiting. Lena, I called softly. She looked up, surprised. Oh, you came. I had to. We need to talk, I said, stopping in front of her. She avoided my gaze. We talked. No, not really, I said, taking a step closer. You said you need space. That's not enough. I need to know why. Are you unhappy? Is it me? Her fingers twisted in her lap. It's not you. It's me. I just feel trapped, I guess. I need to breathe. Trapped? My chest tightened. Trapped how? In love with me? Don't twist my words, she snapped. Her voice was sharp, but I caught the tremor underneath. I'm just asking for the truth. I pleaded. After everything, I deserve honesty. She leaned back, eyes glistening. I'm trying to be honest. You're hurting me, I said, quieter now. Do you even care about that? I care, she whispered. I do. But I also need. I need space to figure things out. Space, I repeated, disbelief thick in my voice. You mean, you want to run while I sit here waiting? I'm not running, she said, standing suddenly. I can't stay right now. Lena, wait, I grabbed her hand. She yanked it away. No. I have to go. And just like that, she walked away, leaving me frozen on the swing. I sat there long after she left, replaying every word, every glance. My phone buzzed, messages from her that were gone when I opened them. Deleted. Hidden. Who else? I thought, a cold knot forming in my stomach. The next day, I tried calling her. Straight to voicemail. I texted, can we talk? Please. Read at 8:14 a.m., nothing after. I met Mark and Sarah for lunch, hoping for some clarity. She didn't answer. Sarah asked gently. No, I said, pushing my plate away. It's like she vanished. Mark leaned forward, voice low. Look, man. I hate saying this, but something's up. I've seen the way she smiles when she talks on her phone, like she's sharing secrets. You need to watch out. Secrets. My stomach sank. With who? I don't know yet, he admitted. But there's someone. I've seen him around, always with her, laughing too much. He's. I don't know, new. Dangerous, maybe. Dangerous? I asked, though part of me didn't want to know. Emotionally, Mark said. Watch your back. I didn't sleep that night. Every ping from my phone made my chest race. Every memory of her felt like a knife twisting. I scrolled through old texts, photos, little things that now stung in a way they hadn't before. The space she demanded wasn't just empty. It was filled with someone else, someone I hadn't met yet, but whose presence I could feel in her absence. I told myself I was imagining it. That she was just confused. That we'd fix it if I held on, if I loved her enough. But deep down, I knew it wasn't that simple. And with that thought, the first real seed of doubt planted itself in my mind, twisting with every heartbeat. Is she leaving me for someone else? It had been weeks since Lena told me she needed space. Weeks. And every day felt longer than the last. Man, you need to get out of the apartment, Mark said, leaning against my doorframe. You're turning into a ghost. I can't, I said, staring at my phone. Every ping made my chest jump. She might text. She might say she's coming back. You're obsessed, Sarah said, sitting on my couch, arms crossed. Trust me, I've been watching you. You haven't eaten properly in days. You haven't slept. I'm fine, I muttered, though my stomach twisted. I can't stop thinking about her. Every place we went, every joke we shared, it's all stuck in my head. Mark shook his head. Dude, that's unhealthy. She's making her choices. You can't control them. I know, I said quietly, but it feels like she's hiding something. Every time I call, she doesn't answer. Every message, gone. And now she's missing from all the events we used to go to together. Sarah frowned. You think she's seeing someone else? I didn't answer. I didn't want to admit it even to myself. But the thought gnawed at me. Later that week, I found myself at the small gallery we'd always loved, hoping to bump into her. Nothing. Then I saw her, across the room, laughing at something someone said. Not with me. Not even looking in my direction. And he was there. A guy I didn't know, tall, with sharp eyes and a confident smile. He put his arm around her shoulder lightly, and she leaned in, laughing like she hadn't done in months with me. My stomach dropped. Who is he? I muttered to myself, stepping closer, trying not to be noticed. Excuse me, someone said behind me. Mark. You okay? You're pale as a sheet. I don't know, I admitted, my hands trembling. She's there, with him. Laughing. I see him, Mark said, frowning. Do you know the guy? No, I said. I don't. But he's in her space. Her world now. Not mine. Sarah's voice was gentle. You need to breathe. Don't jump to conclusions. I couldn't breathe. My mind was racing. Every memory of Lena flashed through my head, the way she smiled at me, the way she used to lean on my shoulder, the whispered promises I had believed. And now, someone else was taking my place. I stepped closer, trying to catch her eye. She didn't see me. She didn't even glance my way. I wanted to storm over, to grab her and demand she explain herself, but Mark grabbed my arm. Not here, he said quietly. Not like this. You'll make it worse. I can't just stand here, I whispered. She's laughing with him. She's happy. You're still early in the heartbreak stage, Sarah said softly. It's clouding your judgment. I turned away, my chest tight. My mind kept replaying little things I'd brushed off, the cancelled movie nights, the abrupt phone calls, the way she sometimes seemed distant even when we were together. Warning signs I hadn't wanted to see. Maybe she's always been this way, I muttered, almost to myself. Mark shook his head. Don't say that. You're imagining the worst. I'm not imagining, I said, voice low. I just saw it. She's not mine anymore. And that guy, I trailed off, swallowed hard. I don't even know him. But he's in my place. Sarah put a hand on my shoulder. You can't control her. You can only control yourself. I know, I said, though it sounded hollow. But I can't stop thinking about her. Every laugh, every smile, it's poison now. I keep thinking, was there something I missed? Something I did wrong? Mark frowned. Stop blaming yourself. Not everything is your fault. But deep down, I knew the truth. It wasn't just about me. Lena was moving on, letting someone else step into the space I once occupied. And I didn't know what to do about it. As the night ended, I watched them leave together, her hand brushing against his arm. My chest ached, but anger started to bubble beneath the hurt. Mark. Sarah. I'm going to find out who he is, I said quietly. You better be careful, Mark warned. I will, I said, already forming a plan in my head. But as they disappeared into the night, a single thought consumed me: she's fading from my life, and I don't know if I can stop it. I found them in a cafe down the street. Lena. And him. Ethan. My stomach dropped before I even stepped inside. He had his arm around her, and she was leaning in, laughing like I'd never made her laugh. I swallowed hard. What the hell is this? I demanded, voice shaking. They both turned. Lena's eyes widened, then narrowed. You what? I cut her off, my heart hammering. You've been hiding him. Laughing with him. While I wait, hoping you'd come back. Ethan stepped forward. Look, man. Don't. Just don't, I snapped. You stay out of this. Lena crossed her arms, exhaling slowly. I needed freedom, she said calmly. Freedom? I repeated, my voice rising. Freedom from what? Me? Our life? She looked at me evenly. Yes. From that. From us. From the pressure of being your girlfriend. I felt the air leave my lungs. You, after everything we had, this is how you repay me. It's not about repayment, she said. It's about me. I've been trapped in who I was with you. I needed to breathe, to live my life without holding anyone back. Breathe? I shouted. You call sneaking around, laughing with him, deleting messages, breathing? I don't need to justify myself to you, she said coldly. I'm done defending my choices. I felt my hands clench into fists. Lena, look at me. Look at what you've done. Do you even care? I do, she whispered. I care that I'm being honest. That's all I can give you. Honest? I repeated, disbelief cutting through my chest. Honest is telling me you've been seeing someone else. Honest is not pretending everything is fine while you walk away from me. Ethan frowned. Man, you need to calm down. Shut up. I yelled, pointing at him. You're the reason this happened. You seduced her while I was loving her. She wasn't seduced, Lena said sharply. She made her own choice. Don't pin this on him. I felt like I was going to collapse. My friends were nearby, Mark and Sarah, but even they couldn't step in. Stop yelling, both of you, Sarah pleaded. No good is coming from this. No. I barked. I have a right to know why. Why she left me for him. Mark stepped closer, trying to calm me. I know it hurts, but you're just making it worse. She's gone. You can't. She's not gone. I shouted, my voice breaking. She's right here. Right in front of me. Laughing with him, pretending I don't exist. I needed space, Lena said again, almost like a mantra. I can't be the me I wanted while being your girlfriend. I'm sorry if that hurts, but it's the truth. I staggered back, my mind spinning. The truth? This is her truth. That she just replaces me like I meant nothing. I looked at her, then at Ethan, then back at her. Every memory we'd shared flashed before me, the late-night talks, the promises, the stupid jokes that only we found funny. And now, nothing. I loved you, I whispered, more to myself than anyone else. I gave you everything. And this is what I get. Love doesn't mean possession, Lena said softly. I didn't cheat out of spite. I did it because I needed to be free. Free, I repeated, voice hollow. And I'm supposed to just watch. You're supposed to survive, Mark said gently. You'll be okay. Just, don't let them get under your skin. I shook my head, tears stinging. Okay. How do I survive this? Sarah put a hand on my shoulder. By not letting her decisions define you. By finding yourself. Don't stay weak because she's choosing someone else. Her words hit me harder than anything Lena had said. I straightened, anger replacing heartbreak. You know what? I said, voice low but steady. I'm not staying weak. I'm not sitting here while she destroys everything we had and walks away. I'm done letting her define my life. Ethan's expression hardened. Careful, man. You don't want to. I said stay out of this, I snapped. You don't matter. She doesn't matter in the same way she did. Not anymore. Lena's face went pale. You can't just erase. Watch me, I said. I won't beg. I won't chase. I won't wait while you live your freedom at my expense. I turned, walking away with Mark and Sarah beside me, leaving Lena and Ethan frozen behind me. And for the first time since this nightmare began, I felt a spark of something else. Not happiness. Not relief. But power. The power to reclaim my life, the power to rise above this betrayal. I didn't know how I'd do it yet, but I knew one thing for certain, I wasn't going to let them break me. Not her. Not him. I didn't know when the haze lifted, but one morning, I realized I wasn't lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about Lena. You're up early, Mark said, catching me in the kitchen with a cup of coffee. Yeah, I muttered, shrugging. Figured I'd get a head start on things. Feels good. Mark raised an eyebrow. Good. After everything? I'm done letting her control my mood, I said, finally allowing a small grin. I need to focus on me. Sarah appeared from the hallway, arms crossed, smiling. Finally. Took you long enough. I wasn't ready before, I admitted. It felt impossible. But now. I think I can move forward. Mark leaned back against the counter. Moving forward, huh? That's a start. But what about getting your heart back? I'm not thinking about that right now, I said firmly. I want to build myself. Do things I've been putting off. Grow. Become someone she can't just walk away from again. Sarah nodded. We're here for you. You don't have to do this alone. I smiled at them, genuinely this time. Thanks. I mean it. You've been the only reason I haven't completely fallen apart. So, what's the plan? Mark asked. Gym. Hobby. Revenge. I laughed lightly. All of the above. I signed up for that photography class I always wanted. I'm back at work, taking projects seriously. And as for revenge, I leaned in, lowering my voice. It's not just about her. It's about showing her, and everyone, that I'm stronger than she thought. Sarah raised an eyebrow. Strong emotionally, morally, or just making her jealous? Strong, I said firmly. For me, not for her. Jealousy is irrelevant. But seeing her realize I don't need her. That's satisfying in its own way. Days passed, and I filled them with work, workouts, and photography. I even met Olivia at a gallery opening, a bright, warm presence who reminded me laughter didn't have to sting anymore. You're always looking at the world through a lens, she said, smiling as I reviewed a photo I'd taken of the city skyline. I guess I am, I said, adjusting the camera. Helps me see things differently, appreciate them. You see differently, she corrected gently. And maybe that's what makes you, you. Her words lingered in my mind long after she left. I caught myself thinking less about Lena. Her absence still stung occasionally, but now it was a dull ache instead of a burning wound. One evening, Mark and I went for a run. "You're different," he said, wiping sweat from his brow. "You've got confidence now. It's like you're untouchable." "I feel different," I admitted. "It's not arrogance. It's empowerment. I survived betrayal, heartbreak, humiliation. And I'm still standing." "You're scaring her," Mark said with a grin. "If she knew how much better you're doing without her." I smirked. "I think she's starting to notice. That's why I'm not rushing to tell her. Let her see it for herself." Sarah joined us later, coffee in hand. "So, are we saying he's officially moving on?" she teased. I laughed, shaking my head. "Moving on, yes. But I'm not replacing anyone. I'm becoming myself." "Good," she said. "That's all that matters." At work, I took on projects I had avoided before. I stayed late, learned new skills, and earned recognition I hadn't expected. Each small victory felt like a brick in a wall I was building around my heart, strong, solid, unbreakable. One night, I ran into Olivia again, this time at a rooftop party. The city lights reflected in her eyes, and for a moment, I forgot Lena existed. "You're smiling without thinking about her," she said softly. "I am," I admitted, feeling the truth in my chest. "I think I've finally realized I don't need her to be happy." She reached out, touching my arm lightly. "And that's exactly what makes you irresistible." Her words made me laugh, a real, carefree laugh. For the first time in months, I felt light. Free. But somewhere deep in my mind, I knew Lena was watching from afar, or at least hearing about me through whispers and social media. I imagined her realizing that the person she underestimated, the one she thought would wait helplessly, was thriving without her. And the thought made my chest tighten with satisfaction. I wasn't weak anymore. I wasn't the person who would crumble at her words or actions. I was building something stronger, better, unstoppable. "Who is he?" I muttered to myself, stepping closer, trying not to be noticed. "Excuse me," someone said behind me. "Mark. You okay? You're pale as a sheet." I don't know," I admitted, my hands trembling. "She's there, with him. Laughing." "I see him," Mark said, frowning. "Do you know the guy?" "No," I said. "I don't. But he's in her space. Her world now. Not mine." Sarah's voice was gentle. "You need to breathe. Don't jump to conclusions." I couldn't breathe. My mind was racing. Every memory of Lena flashed through my head, the way she smiled at me, the way she used to lean on my shoulder, the whispered promises I had believed. And now, someone else was taking my place. I stepped closer, trying to catch her eye. She didn't see me. She didn't even glance my way. I wanted to storm over, to grab her and demand she explain herself, but Mark grabbed my arm. "Not here," he said quietly. "Not like this. You'll make it worse." "I can't just stand here," I whispered. "She's laughing with him. She's happy." "You're still early in the heartbreak stage," Sarah said softly. "It's clouding your judgment." I turned away, my chest tight. My mind kept replaying little things I'd brushed off, the cancelled movie nights, the abrupt phone calls, the way she sometimes seemed distant even when we were together. Warning signs I hadn't wanted to see. Maybe she's always been this way," I muttered, almost to myself. Mark shook his head. "Don't say that. You're imagining the worst." "I'm not imagining," I said, voice low. "I just saw it. She's not mine anymore. And that guy," I trailed off, swallowed hard. "I don't even know him. But he's in my place." Sarah put a hand on my shoulder. You can't control her. You can only control yourself. I know, I said, though it sounded hollow. But I can't stop thinking about her. Every laugh, every smile, it's poison now. I keep thinking, was there something I missed? Something I did wrong? Her hands shook. But I loved you. I still do. You loved yourself more, I said quietly. Always. And I learned the hard way. I won't make that mistake again. She opened her mouth to protest, but I raised a hand. No. Save your words. Save your tears. They don't reach me anymore. I stood and turned, leaving her frozen, face pale and panicked, while I walked out into the sunlight, breathing deep. Outside, Mark and Sarah waited. You look unstoppable, Sarah said, grinning. I feel unstoppable, I admitted. It's satisfying, you know. Seeing her panic. But not just that, it's knowing I'm thriving while she's crumbling. Mark laughed. Karma's got a funny way of working, huh? Funny, yes, I said, smiling. But deserved. She made her choices. I made mine. And mine are paying off. Work has never been better. I took on projects I'd avoided, won recognition I hadn't imagined. Colleagues who once ignored me now sought my opinion, my advice. I laughed with friends, made plans, and even shared moments with Olivia. She's still a small part of my life, but she reminds me I can laugh without pain now. You're glowing, Olivia said one evening, walking beside me after a gallery show. You look free. I am, I said. Free from her, free from the heartbreak, free from pretending everything's okay when it's not. Good, she said, squeezing my arm. I'm glad you finally see your worth. I nodded, letting it sink in. Worth. I hadn't felt it in months, maybe years. But now, I knew it. I knew I could survive anything. Betrayal, heartbreak, humiliation, it didn't break me. And while Lena scrambled to repair her reputation, I built mine. Her calls went unanswered. Her messages ignored. Every time she tried to reach out, I remembered her panic, the flash of fear in her eyes when she realized she couldn't manipulate me anymore. She's really lost it, isn't she? Mark asked one evening, scrolling through his phone. Social media, work drama, everyone's noticing. She's isolated herself. I don't care, I said, smiling faintly. Not anymore. Let her face the consequences. That's her karma. I have my life to build. Sarah nudged me. And you're doing it beautifully. She underestimated exactly who she left behind. I let her words sink in. That was the best part. Not revenge in the petty sense, not cruelty, but the truth. She had underestimated me. And now, she was watching the rise of someone stronger, wiser, untouchable. Even if she begged, even if she cried, even if she tried to claw her way back. I wouldn't let her in. I wasn't the same person. Not weak, not desperate. Not hers. And as I walked home, feeling the evening breeze on my face, I realized something profound: the universe doesn't always need me to act. Sometimes, letting someone fall from their own choices is the sweetest justice of all. I spotted her the moment I walked into the office. Lena. Standing near the reception, pretending casual interest in the latest project posters. Her eyes flicked toward me, widening for just a second before she masked it with a calm, almost flirtatious smile. Hey, she said, approaching me slowly, voice smooth. I didn't expect to see you here. I'm here every day, I said evenly, not letting my gaze waver. But you. I suppose you couldn't resist checking in. I wanted to talk, she said, leaning slightly closer. Maybe we can, fix things. I laughed softly, almost kindly, but there was steel underneath it. Fix things. Lena, we aren't breaking. We were broken the moment you chose him over me. I've moved on. I've grown. And I'm not the same person you left behind. Her lips trembled. But I made a mistake. Stop, I said firmly, cutting her off. I don't need your excuses. I don't need your apologies. I don't need you. I thought maybe. You thought wrong, I said calmly. Everything you left in your wake. That was your responsibility. I've rebuilt myself around it. I'm stronger now, Lena. I've learned what love, trust, and self-respect actually mean. Her expression faltered for a split second, but she tried to cover it with that practiced charm. Maybe we could start over. Just once. I shook my head slowly, enjoying the quiet confidence in my own voice. No. I'm not interested in starting over with someone who never truly saw me. I've moved forward. You should do the same. A few colleagues walking by paused, sensing the tension. I noticed their eyes on us, some curious, some sympathetic. Lena's voice dropped, desperate now. I never realized, you've changed so much. You're different. I've changed because I had to, I said, voice steady. Because I refused to stay weak. Because I refused to let betrayal define me. That's the difference between us. Her panic was subtle at first, a flicker in her eyes, but it grew as she noticed the small crowd gathering. Whispers started. Look at her face, I overheard someone mutter. She didn't expect this, he's untouchable now. I thought you'd still care. I asked, voice low, cutting through her words. No. I cared. I loved. I trusted. I gave you everything. And you threw it away. That was your choice, Lena. You don't get to manipulate me into reliving it. Her hands fidgeted, twisting the strap of her bag nervously. I didn't know you'd. I didn't think. You didn't think, I repeated, calm and unyielding. And now you see. I didn't just survive. I thrived. I became stronger than you ever imagined. That's what happens when you underestimate someone. The murmurs around us grew louder. Even minor coworkers whispered encouragement or astonishment. I caught a glimpse of Mark and Sarah at the back of the room, nodding subtly, their eyes proud. I didn't mean for. You didn't mean for anything, I said, shaking my head slightly, pity mingling with my triumph. But intentions don't erase consequences. You can't undo the damage you caused. You can't walk back time or pain. That's not how life works. Her face paled, and I could see it now, the weight of regret pressing down, crushing her attempts at charm and manipulation. Maybe. I can. You can't, I said softly, almost kindly. Not with me. I won't be swayed, coerced, or fooled. I am in control of my life now. I choose who stays, and you're not that person. She opened her mouth again but closed it quickly, realizing her words no longer held power. The crowd's quiet acknowledgement made her hesitation visible, and I felt an unfamiliar sense of satisfaction, tinged with something almost merciful. You see, I said, lowering my voice so only she could hear, I'm not angry. Not anymore. I'm just free. Free from your mistakes, free from your lies, and free to live the life you couldn't give me. Lena's shoulders slumped. No smirk. No charm. Just regret and a hint of fear, and I realized she finally understood the full extent of her underestimation. I turned slightly to acknowledge my coworkers, letting a faint smile cross my face. Whispers turned into nods and quiet approval. Their silent affirmation reminded me, this wasn't just about her. It was about me, my power, my confidence, my moral victory. As I walked away, Lena standing frozen in the middle of the room, I felt it fully for the first time, the shift had happened. I was no longer the one in pain. I was no longer the one desperate. I had risen. And she could watch, powerless, as I thrived. I saw her before she saw me. Lena, standing outside the coffee shop we used to frequent, her face pale, her hands trembling. For a moment, I thought I might hesitate. But the hesitation didn't come. I had rehearsed this moment in my mind countless times, and now it was real. "Hey," she whispered as I approached. Her voice cracked. I need to talk to you." "I'm listening," I said evenly, keeping my voice calm. She swallowed hard, glancing down at the ground. I messed up. I know I hurt you, more than I ever realized. You know. I cut her off. You know, and yet you still did it. You chose him, Lena. You chose betrayal. And you don't even flinch when you say it. I didn't think, she began, but her words faltered. "Don't start with excuses," I said firmly. "I've heard enough of them. I gave you everything, my trust, my heart, my years, and you threw it all away. You think saying sorry fixes it? That it erases the pain?" "I'm sorry," she cried, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I'm so sorry. Please, just give me a chance to explain. To make it right." I shook my head, keeping my tone steady. "It's too late for chances. You don't get to rewrite the past. You don't get to step back into my life like nothing happened. That's not how it works, Lena." Her shoulders shook as sobs escaped her. "But I love you. I never stopped. I was stupid. I was selfish. Please, I can't lose you." I took a deep breath, letting her words wash over me without shaking my resolve. "You lost me the moment you chose yourself over us. I loved you with everything I had. I trusted you. And you betrayed me." She stumbled back a step, almost collapsing. I didn't know. I didn't know it would hurt this much." "I do," I said softly but firmly. "I know it. I felt it every day, every night, every second you weren't here. The heartbreak, the emptiness, the obsession I couldn't escape from, it all taught me one thing. I am stronger than you thought. Stronger than the betrayal you handed me. And I am finally free." Her face twisted in desperation. "You can't be. You still love me. I see it in your eyes." I laughed lightly, a sound devoid of malice, just clarity. "Love isn't enough when it's met with lies. Love alone doesn't erase betrayal. Love alone doesn't rebuild what's been broken. I loved you, yes. But I survived. I moved on. I grew. And you are left staring at someone you can't touch, someone who won't be swayed by your tears." She sank to the curb, burying her face in her hands, sobbing uncontrollably. I didn't mean. I thought I had time. I thought. You thought wrong, I said gently but unyielding. You thought I would wait forever, that I would crumble and beg for you back. But I didn't. I won't. And I never will. Flashbacks hit me, the long nights, the laughter we shared, the small betrayals I ignored, thinking they were insignificant. I remembered the moments she canceled dates. The texts that vanished, the way she looked at him when she thought I wasn't watching. And then, I remembered my own breaking point, the first sting of betrayal, the hollow ache of disbelief. "You knew," I said quietly, almost to myself. "You knew what you were doing, and you did it anyway." Her head lifted slightly, her tear-streaked face pleading. I didn't think. I never thought. You never thought because you were selfish. You never thought because your love wasn't enough to keep you faithful. And now, you see me standing here, unbroken, alive, thriving. And you can't take it back. Her sobs intensified. I lost you, didn't I? I really lost you forever. Yes, I said, finally letting the word settle. Forever. You don't get another chance. You don't get to manipulate me, charm me, or beg me back. You lost me. And now, you will watch me live, watch me rise, and watch yourself fall into the emptiness your choices created. She curled inward on the curb, silent sobs shaking her. I turned and walked away, feeling the sun on my back, the city alive around me. I felt light. Unburdened. Triumphant, not over her, but over the pain, over the betrayal, over the weakness I once carried. Mark and Sarah appeared as I reached the corner. How is she? Sarah asked softly. She knows, I said. She finally knows she lost me. And it doesn't matter how much she cries. She can't undo it. Mark nodded. You've come so far. I can see it. You're unstoppable now. I smiled faintly, feeling every word as truth. I am. And no one, not Lena, not anyone, will ever break me like that again. I am whole. I am strong. And I am free. As I walked away, I glanced once back at her, slumped and broken, and felt an unfamiliar satisfaction, not from cruelty, but from justice. She had faced the consequences. I had survived. I had won, not against her, but against everything that had tried to destroy me. I was no longer hers. I never would be. And I never needed to be. I woke up that morning feeling light, almost untethered. The sun poured through my window, warm and forgiving, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel the weight of betrayal pressing down on me. I stretched and smiled. This was freedom. Olivia was already in the kitchen, humming softly while making coffee. She looked up and grinned. Morning. You slept well? I did, I said, pouring myself a cup. Better than I have in a long time. I feel different. Lighter. That's good, she said, walking over and nudging my shoulder. You've earned it. I laughed softly, swirling the coffee in my hand. I've earned more than that. I've earned myself back. I've learned what matters. No one, can take this from me again. She smiled, sitting beside me. You've really changed. Stronger, calmer, happier. I have, I admitted. And it's not just about being free from her. It's about realizing I deserve better, that I can survive betrayal and heartbreak and come out stronger on the other side. You've taught me that too, Olivia said softly. Watching you, seeing your growth, it's inspiring. I looked at her, truly looked, and felt warmth spread in my chest. I'm not the same person I was, and I'm grateful. For the pain, for the lessons, for the people who stuck by me. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Mark popped his head into the kitchen. Don't forget me. I stuck by you too. I chuckled. Of course, Mark. You were the comic relief that kept me sane. You mean I was the voice of reason wrapped in sarcasm, he said, grinning. I laughed. Yes, wrapped in sarcasm. And I couldn't have done it without both of you. Later that day, as I walked through the park, I saw Lena across the path. She froze when our eyes met, and I felt the faintest flicker of what used to be pain. But it was brief. Now, it was only clarity. Please, she called out, rushing toward me. I need to talk. I was wrong. I never should have left. Can we, please? I stopped and looked at her. Her eyes pleaded, her face desperate. But I felt nothing but calm. I'm not the person you left behind, I said quietly. I won't be manipulated, charmed, or begged into something that isn't there anymore. You lost me. And I'm not coming back. She faltered. I didn't mean. No, I said firmly. Save your words. Save your tears. They don't reach me anymore. You had your chance, and you threw it away. The rest is on you. She stood there, powerless, watching me walk away, and I felt a strange satisfaction. Not cruelty, but justice. Karma had finally caught up, and I didn't need to act. I simply survived. I thrived. I continued my walk and felt the sun on my face, warm and comforting. Olivia's hand found mine as she joined me, squeezing gently. You okay? She asked. I'm more than okay, I said. I'm happy. Really happy. And not because of her absence, but because of my presence here, in this life I've built for myself. She smiled, leaning her head on my shoulder. I'm glad. You deserve this. You deserve peace, joy, and someone who truly sees you. I nodded, feeling the truth of it settle in my chest. I do. And I've learned that the hardest lessons bring the most growth. Betrayal taught me patience. Heartbreak taught me resilience. And letting go taught me freedom. We walked in silence for a while, letting the city hum around us. Friends waved as we passed, Mark, Sarah, even a few coworkers who had once witnessed Lena's panicked downfall. I waved back, feeling the warmth of community, of people who had witnessed my journey and cheered quietly from the sidelines. Later, sitting on a bench overlooking the water, Olivia asked, "Do you ever think about her?" I thought for a moment, watching a swan glide gracefully across the pond. Sometimes. But it's not longing, not anger, not pain. It's reflection. I think about how far I've come, what I've survived, and what I've learned. And I smile, because I'm still here, stronger than ever. She squeezed my hand. That's beautiful. I suppose it is, I admitted. I once thought I'd never recover. I once thought losing her would destroy me. But now, I see it wasn't losing her that defined me. It was surviving her. And choosing myself over the chaos she created. Olivia leaned in closer. And you did. You chose yourself. That's why you're happy. That's why I'm here with you. I smiled, feeling the weight of years lift from my shoulders. Yes. And nothing, no past regret, no lingering pain, can take this away. Not her, not anyone. As the sun dipped low, casting golden light over the water, I felt a rush of contentment, of empowerment. The journey had been long, painful, and sometimes unbearable. But I was here. Whole. Free. Loved by myself, and by someone who truly mattered. And as we walked hand in hand toward the city lights, I realized the final lesson: the past can teach, hurt, and shape you, but it cannot chain you. Only you hold the key. I had the key. And I was finally free.